violence, passion,
What's up, man? What's up?
intensity, grit,
Boys ain't ready, man. They ain't ready, man. I'm telling y'all, they ain't ready, dog.
these are just a few words used to describe former Tennessee linebacker Al Wilson, and every one of them fits perfectly.
Y'all bring it today. Bring it, dog. Let's set the tempo, baby.
Widely regarded as the greatest linebacker in Tennessee history, not for sheer statistics, but for his role as the heart and soul of the UT defense,
It's money time, dog. It's money time. No mercy. No mercy.
and helped elevate the Vols to greatness.
The national champion is clad in big orange.
So join us as we dive into the life and legacy of one of the most iconic volunteers to ever step foot on good old Rocky Top. On June 21st, 1977, Aldra Wilson, or who we know as Al, was born in Jackson, Tennessee, to Claudette Grice Wilson and Alpha Wilson. Little is documented about his upbringing, other than he and his mother had a special bond and he was a gifted athlete. Surprisingly, though, he didn't begin playing football until junior high. But as soon as he stepped on the field, he was on a journey to greatness. And that journey would start at Jackson Central Mary High School, where he excelled not only in football, but also in track and basketball. On the gridiron, he played both running back and linebacker, rushing for 1,160 yards and 15 touchdowns in his senior season. Impressively, Wilson surpassed 1,000 rushing yards for 3 consecutive years, but it was his defensive prowess that drew attention from top college programs. His senior year numbers were staggering: 163 tackles and 3 forced fumbles. To put that into perspective, 2023 NFL tackle leader Bobby Wagner recorded 183 tackles over 17 games, averaging 10.8 tackles per game. Wilson, in just 14 games, averaged 11.6. His dominance earned him recognition as the #1 prospect in Tennessee by the Knoxville News-Sentinel and West Tennessee's Player of the Year, and naturally, it wasn't long before Philip Fulmer and the Tennessee Volunteers came knocking. He was initially unsure if Tennessee was the right fit. Wilson wasn't a self-proclaimed fan, despite growing up around plenty of orange and white. But after some convincing, Fulmer and his staff secured their star linebacker, and as soon as he stepped on campus, his passion for the university and the fans' passion for him grew exponentially. Wilson's impact was immediate. As a freshman, he played in all 12 games, recording 25 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and an interception in a reserve role at linebacker and as a special teams star, setting the tone for what was to come. Earning a starting role at left linebacker in his sophomore year, Wilson shined. At 6 feet tall and 240 pounds of pure want-to, he finished second on the team with 87 tackles, while also racking up 2 forced fumbles, 1 sack, and 8 tackles for loss. His breakout game came in a 29-17 victory over Georgia, where he notched 13 tackles and a forced fumble. By his junior year, Wilson was the team's signal caller, finishing as the 3rd leading tackler despite battling a nagging ankle injury. He posted 83 tackles, 5 sacks, and 7 tackles for loss. He led the Vols in tackles for 5 games that season, 4 of them in a row, setting season-high marks versus both Ole Miss and Georgia with 12 tackles in each game. His passion was unmatched, and in the 1997 SEC championship game against Auburn, Wilson's leadership truly emerged. With Tennessee trailing 20-10 at halftime, the Vols needed a spark, someone to ignite a fire that would fuel a mighty comeback. That's when Al stepped in, and in Peyton Manning's words, he gave a speech that, quote, peeled the paint off the Georgia Dome locker room walls. Peerless Price described the halftime speech as the greatest speech he had ever heard, saying, quote, "I'll tell my kids how he cried about never winning a championship in his life and how I felt it. I wanted to win for him, and the team wanted to win for him." He broke down in tears and said we had to dig deep, that nobody believed we could come back and win. He convinced me. I think he convinced the coaching staff. I think he convinced everyone in the locker room. Al Wilson himself was asked about the moment, and this is what he had to say. "I told them to remember how hard they'd played all season. We didn't come down here to lose. We came to be victorious. We came here to bring the championship back to Knoxville. I told them I had never won a championship. I told them I'd do anything in this world to win this game." Wilson's pure passion invaded his teammates' hearts and ignited the fire needed to rally an incredible comeback, winning the game by a mere point, securing Wilson his first ever championship. But before we move further, go check out our store, where you can support the channel by purchasing our Tennessee and patriotic themed designs. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and toboggans, all made from quality materials. Also, get free shipping on all orders of $99 or more. And if you have any t-shirt or merch suggestions, leave them in the comments, and they might end up in the store. Now, back to the video. This brings us to 1998, a season etched into the hearts of Vols fans, and the one that solidified Al Wilson's status as a true Tennessee legend. With stars like Peyton Manning, Leonard Little, and Terry Fair departing for the NFL, many expected a rebuilding year. But no one told Al Wilson. Fueled by his leadership and determination, the Vols defied expectations and dominated their opponents, forging a championship run for the ages. Opening the year on the road at number 17 ranked Syracuse, Wilson, now a team captain, set the tone for the level of intensity the Vols' defense would showcase that year. With an incredible 13-tackle performance, securing victory for the Vols by the skin of their teeth, 34-33. Next on the schedule was perhaps the Vols' toughest test of the entire season, the number 2 ranked Florida Gators. This game, especially in the 90s, usually decided the SEC East and even held national championship implications, and Al Wilson played like a man possessed. In one of the defining moments of his career, he delivered what many consider his most legendary performance as a Tennessee Volunteer. He racked up 12 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 forced fumbles, a single-game school record, propelling the Vols to a thrilling 20-17 overtime victory in an all-time classic. Each forced fumble was pivotal. One set up a crucial field goal, another denied Florida a touchdown at the goal line, and the third halted a promising Gators drive in Tennessee territory. Wilson's dominance in this game was extraordinary, as he single-handedly shifted the tide and willed his team to victory. His other standout performances included 11 tackles against UAB, 9 in a rain-soaked battle against Arkansas, and 8 at South Carolina. He also recorded an interception in the SEC championship game against Mississippi State, taking it to the house for a critical Tennessee touchdown, and of course led the Big Orange to victory in the first ever BCS National Championship game.
The national champion is clad in Big Orange. Tennessee 23, Florida State 16.
Becoming the champion he always dreamed of. By season's end, Wilson was a first-team All-American and All-SEC selection, finishing with 77 tackles, 5 forced fumbles, 4 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and 1 interception, all while missing 3 games. In 42 career games at Tennessee, Wilson recorded 272 tackles, 27 tackles for loss, 11 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. His stats may not top the all-time list, but many fans consider him to be the greatest linebacker in Tennessee history because of his leadership, passion and love for his team and for the University of Tennessee.
But Al Wilson was more than a player. He made the defense spectacular because of his character and his upbringing. That's what I always thought. I don't know how many tackles he made, doesn't matter. He was the force on defense for that Tennessee team.
After leaving an everlasting mark on Rocky Top, Wilson was drafted in the first round by the Denver Broncos, becoming the anchor of their defense. Known for his speed and coverage skills, he recorded 100-plus tackles in 5 consecutive seasons, earning 5 Pro Bowl selections and All-Pro honors in 2005 and 2006. But unfortunately, in 2006, just as his career was starting to flourish, he suffered a neck injury during a fake field goal attempt against the Seattle Seahawks. He was carted off the field and immediately taken to a hospital. He returned to play the last 3 games for Denver that year, but failed a physical in the offseason. Denver ended up releasing Wilson at the end of the year, and he never played another NFL snap. He officially retired from professional football on September 10, 2008. Post-football, Wilson transitioned to business and remained connected to Tennessee. He frequently visits Knoxville from his home in Atlanta for games and speeches, maintaining his bond with the university. In 2021, he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, a fitting honor for a man who gave everything to his team and the game of football. Today, Wilson's legacy is etched into the hearts of UT fans and into the history of Tennessee football, and Vol Nation will forever be impacted by the tenacity, dedication, and love he showed. Good old Rocky Top.
Thank you.